This meeting is being recorded.
So welcome to the Chocolate Love May month. So this session is the energy flow from male to female. So I'm just going to share the screen from here. So there's a few of the slides that bring into the explanation today. So what you can see in front of you is the magnetic pole, magnetic pole of the male and female. So when you see, I'm going to explain to you from the female side and also from the male side as well. So I'm going to bring you to the very, very simple way to explain, and then we'll dive into deeper. So you can see that breast and heart is a positive pole, like positive. When I say positive, that is upwards. It's sort of like you beaming out, the energy you beaming out, or the light you beaming out. So why am I talking about the breast and the heart? So you will know that from last month when we do the breast massage, I explained it before that the breast is the extension of the heart. So the more that we massage and look after, care for our breast is also one of the way that soften the heart and get the heart to open a little bit as well. And I know that a lot of people that asking, how do I open my heart a bit more? So the only way that I can think of, which is my experience, is just doing the breast massage every single morning before you wake up. I mean, after you wake up, you don't have to wake up straight away. You can wake up in your bed and you can just warm up your body, right? Just like when you wake up, you drink water, flush the water to your organ internal. So what is the outside on your body? So you just can sort of like cup the breast, or you just can put on your hand, just warm your body up. So yeah, and not only that, it's you also feel safe in your body as well. So that is what you can try to do. So with the positive pole, and now we're looking at the negative pole with vagina or yoni, which is another word that you can use, and it's negative. So what's that really mean for negative pole? That is receptive, and you receive, because it's inside. The organ that is placed inside the body is receptive because you are receiving. So on this side, you can see this is the man's body. The penis is positive because it's outside the body. And also penis is conduit of the light. It's always have the, like, this is what they call it, like conduit of the light, because the light that is beaming through from the cock. And the negative part is the heart. And I know that Carl asked why the heart is negative. So negative doesn't mean that it's bad. Negative means that you are receiving a lot. Male, you're receiving a lot through your heart. So yeah. So that is the first slide. Do you have any question, Kyle? Before I go to the next one. I feel like I need a water. I think my voice is going a bit. Okay. You ready to go to the next slide? So it's a lot of information. The more it's a lot of information, because I also wanted to read from here and explain a little bit as well. I can zoom in. So again, we're using the same pictures, right? So in here, breasts are the positive pole we mentioned about. So men can awaken or can awake in women through the breast. I will explain that a little bit later. The energy from the breast is overflow and internally ignites the vagina, which create the full yes for penetration by the man. Vagina is the negative pole. We talk about that. So when A woman's vagina vibrates in magnetic response to her breast. Being loved, she instantly recognizes her moment of sexual readiness. She knows without any doubt that she is ready. There is an involuntary movement towards the man and seemingly magnetic to the body, to his body, and yearning for intimacy or penetration, a deep longing to unite. This is completely spontaneous energetic happening from the depths, arises to utterly yes to demand. So what's that really mean? So I get you to understand that. I mean, understanding for yourself, Carl. I come back. I just need to settle page. Do you have any question, Kyle? No? Okay. So everything quite clear? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just integrating.
Yeah. So when I mention it, why? Like, I know that in the conventional sexual act or action is normally less, like a lot of, I can't really represent a lot of the men. I'll just say general, okay? I just can't, there's no judgment and ego here, but I just said that this, like, is not new, but is for me to explain the breast is really important to be warmed up, like a foreplay from the woman point of view, because our woman body is really hard. The woman body belong to a little bit like cold. And if I wanted to say it's just like yin, right? Like more to like receptive. So they need at least, I don't know, like 45 to 1 hour to really warm up before the man, penetrate the woman. Because if that is not warming up the body, it's just like what I say, it's just here. So it's not a fully, not readiness. It's just like most general man, conventional sex is when the man get hard or, and they just go down straight away in a way that the vagina is not fully opened. And when it is not fully, and that is a forceful for the door to open. And in the next, as I will explain in the next slide, I mean, not this one, but the following is like, there would be like, what is the, there would be like trauma. And also there's like a few things that for just a few things like the vagina or Yoni is not fully open when you love somebody. So yeah, if this is not illuminate enough, it's not open enough, which is not open Yoni, not open heart, literally. That's the meaning of it. So yeah, so we move on. So energy flow from male into female is intrinsic properties of the vagina are passive and receptive. And is that welcoming, silky, serene, and sensitive. The vagina is not external organ like penis. It is an inversion which is inside like a canal that's providing the flow into the body, a delicate muscle. So it is not designed to take direct action, but is exert or influence from the penis through the quality of the energy present in the penis tissue. So in men's penis, although it's outside, is the masculine energy and is positive. So when it meet with vaginas, it's literally united. And that is where it just like is the penis is really influence the way that how vagina receive. And reciprocally that because positive and negative, it will become a manic together. So if you're not receiving properly and open enough, right, it will create the friction. So I'll bring into that what in the fourth slide. So we have four slides today. And where am I up to? So yeah, so the physical correspondence of the penis fitting into the vagina is not accidental. It is designed in a way that because the energy flow from male into female and not the opposite way. So just imagine that. What is the conventional sex that we know? Right, like we know from the TV, from maybe the magazine, or maybe we read somewhere from the book, or when we hear about people's experience. So what it is when most of the men, you know that when they get hardened, they would just want to enter the female vagina. And then what they do is only rubbing in and out. And that is what we call having sex. That's all you do, in and out. And that is like when you have that friction in and out, which is just like normal sex, which is not really. There's a lot more to it. And with that, when you get heightened, you get aroused, the man will be pumping to the woman's body, like jamming. They're doing quick, fast, and peak, and then they come, and that's it. And that is, I just have a sex. I just met love to somebody. And from that, and that's it. And then you go to bed and sleep. So yeah. So what is the female receiving? The female will receiving the vagina being forcefully in when they're not ready. And it's sort of like penetrate in and out. And it depends when how congruent the energy is male and female. If not, like most of the time the man will finish first. If not holding, like sort of like it's like quick, right? And the female is not even warm up yet and he's done. And then he went to bed and sleep and snore. And the female is just like, okay, done, all right. And cover up, sleep. So that is the normal conventional sex. So from this way, the female will be becoming opposite way. As I said here, it's the opposite way. So what does that mean? Will become masculine.
Mm.
And when she become masculine, she also, in a way that she want to be fast. And she think that this is the way. It's only one way, in and out. When I say in and out, you know that it's sort of like vagina and penis just in and out. That is all. So you continue to have that friction and in and out. And it's the ring of the vagina and the penis, because that is normal people understand that is where the arousing the most. And you just continue to be jamming in the same spot. They don't explore other spot. And you get heightened, of course. because you are bringing a lot of energy to that area, because when you do fast, your body energy will raise. The energy will automatically raising up, just like what I say here. Through the balance, the energy streaming is always going up. The energy channel will not go down. The energy was always ascending. So when the female become masculine way of making love, is the reverse way of receptive. And she want to get that heightened feeling as well. And she wanted to have even more. She will become very masculine. So yeah. So that is the opposite way meaning of that. And yeah, so but this is from here, that the chart that here is the direction of the flow is from penis go into vagina and from plus to minus. So that is like this. So yeah, instead of reversing. That's it. And of course, like the normal people, like we all normal people, right? Like it's just like whenever we see each other, it's just like, well, when the female also heightened and aroused and doing fast, like short and fast and high, and the energy is just shooting, right? That is actually a lot of the energy being wasted, and a lot of energy it's just drainage. So love making's energy, it is nurturing. It's supposed to nurture your body, to nurture inner, every single part of your body, in every single part of your organs. The way of conventional making love is releasing. We do not want to release the energy when we make love. We want to reproduce the energy because it's life force energy. So when we reproduce the energy, it just really beautifully flow in our body. So to the man, the difference is electrifying and immediately perceptible, like real. So this is welcome, and this also wholeheartedly and full body response shifts sex into a higher dimension, and a dimension which is become the electromagnetic celebration that leaves you satisfied and also radiant with love. So when we follow, well, I don't really say follow, but when we understand how our body work, how our body charges work, especially the magnetic pole, you will feel it in your body, even though energetic or in the real life, you will feel that because it is in your body, because you're receiving and one sort of like gifting. So when the man gifting to the woman will receive, right? Receive the man's, I'm just gonna say the man's penis. When the man go into enter the vagina receive. So when the vagina receive, it opening the door. So that the penis will go more deeper and deeper and deeper into the female's body. So you feel, a lot of the men will feel like home, and a lot of women will feel, both will feel like depths, like deep. What's that deep? But we're going to be like feeling depths, like really going home and go inwards and just stay there. It's not because, oh, it is so deep. It's just like more to like when you're pumping, is that so deep? It's different than depths. The depth is more like receptive, and you be there and you slow her down. And sometimes it's because it's the depth, you just want to hold each other and just listen to each other's heart. So that is how positive on the chest, right? The man, that's why you feel that is like, again, positive, negative. The feeling of receiving love. So when men go inside men's body, your energy, the energy, that let's say love energy going up, to the female. The female will bring you up, will bring the male energy up from penis, and then from the vagina go up to the heart, to her heart. And then because of negative, the man, he receive the female's love through the heart, and then coming down to your penis receiving as well. So by gifting, you receiving through female's heart. Let that land. How's that sound?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So yeah. So by women have that, I'm just going back to the breast again. So when women, you have that activated or awakened the breast, they feel love and they feel like activated. And then heart open, yoni open, womb open, everything open. That's why when I mentioned it, when the vagina vibrate, the yoni vibrate, that's magnetic. It's a fully yes. And the welcoming man to enter her. So yeah. And think about it, if nothing done off, right? Nothing being warmed up, it's just going to straight down to vagina. Do you think that is like welcoming for the woman, whether she enjoy the part at all? So yeah, so that is conventional sex. I think that's called sex. Yeah, conventional sex. Yeah. So that I wanted to pause here because I said a lot. So yeah. And also that I wanted to bring into, which I think the next one, yeah. Yeah. Do you have any question, Kyle, from these slides? Or do you have any awareness or aha moment or anything that you wanted to share?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's reflecting on, I guess, like through all the, well, I mean, once you go through the whole cycle of like adolescence and all of that, you know, I think, well, from my experience, I'm just kind of reflecting back as in like from high school, like you. Well, I mean, I was an observer. Well, I've always been an observer. So I would observe and hear like guys like talking and about like the girls and all this stuff and how like I knew there was like a different way of how things should be. So I think that's why I didn't really associate with like the guys around me, because it's like, I mean, like no judgments or projections or anything, but it's like the immaturity level. I was just so much deeper than that. But even though I would keep to myself, I just knew that like there was deep understanding, but it wasn't fully revealed yet until, well, I would say like, well, until like last year. But just looking back at how society, yeah, it's the whole conventional, how we get brainwashed. I'm just really feeling into all of that energy of how they, like society puts us into a box of how like a man should be, or yeah, it's like bringing up so much. Even like with movies, with television, ads, like magazines, like it's like this pressure of like looking a certain way. It's almost like the whole energy around it is there was no heart in it. Like there was no heart energy behind it. So I think that's why I pushed it away for so long, because I didn't like the energy that I was feeling from like society's like projections, where I would just kind of became like numb to it. And I think that's why I just focused so much on my creativity and journey and not being inside my body, because it was just this
Dissociation.
energy that yeah, disassociate. That's exactly it. Wow, that word just like it totally resonates with me, and I've been processing through that word for my whole life. So once I journeyed with um, like heart opening with like the author, like about the heart consciousness, it like changed everything. Yes, it was emotional, but I knew that there was stuff that was going on in the background that I was shifting, like understanding love, like life at a deeper level. And that's where my connection to nature grew even more. Like sometimes I would just be in nature and just would get emotional in the beauty of it. But it's like the like woman, the feminine, and like as one with nature opens up the heart. And that's exactly what has happened to me. Like my heart couldn't have been opened without like nature, without the support, like awakened feminine in like her heart, her love, like through the whole heart consciousness. Through like the author was the gateway. Well, I mean, nature was the gateway, but then the author just kind of brought it to my awareness of like the consciousness of like speaking it through that I would understand. But I knew I could always feel it in nature, but I didn't fully understand because it's just like landing on now, like so much is landing on now. So yeah, it's just I think that's why my path is so different and so important right now for like the masculine as well, like with the feminine. But I mean, so much more in like bringing that awareness to the masculine of like, because I see it each and every day, how like I even experienced it yesterday, how like no judgments or projections or anything, but just from observing how closed off, like angry, like emotionless, like the majority of men are, as like I just experienced the interaction yesterday, and it just threw me off for a bit. And yeah, I was just trying to help this person, and yeah, you just got so aggressive, and I'm just trying to help you, like with directions, like he needed directions or whatever, and I'm like, and I could feel this tension, and I'm like, I just want to help, right? So I'm like, even looking at people's faces when I was walking, definitely the women were more open, and I feel like they could feel me being open and they felt safe. Like even like this woman would just smile at me and say hi, like they were like talking to me. Whereas the men were just, it was like a zombie, like just emotionless. And yeah, so it's just when I went into nature yesterday, I was like, could feel the expansiveness. It was like, honestly, my heart felt like so alive. It was like my heart and my senses were breathing into the lusciousness of the green, the greenery, and just feeling that expansiveness. It was like my heart was like in that orgasmic feeling of like being just like unconditionally loved by nature, and with like out any judgments, and just me leading nature. It's like this relationship, and that's what I'm all about, like this relationship with nature, which helps me in like how I show up to the world with like a more open heart, and just carry that nature all throughout, my heart, and just that's why I relate to women like so much and can just have deep conversations with them, because it's like we get each other, we understand each other. I feel like once a man's heart is open, their whole life completely changes. And it's like being soft, but in that like in the softness there's so much inner strength. Like it's not the other way around, where it's like the man has to be like physically strong, like in how they look, and like physically strong as like the inner strength of like that forceful like feeling. It's like the whole other way around. Like society has it wrong, they've had it wrong for so many years, and it's just bringing into that awareness. Like it's like, how do you bring into awareness, like I think for me it's like this feeling that I'm feeling right now. It's like this frustration within myself of like wanting these other like the masculine to wake up to understand, but it's like, how do you open up their eyes and their heart? But I guess I mean like from me being open it helps, but it's like there's more, like more needs to happen for them to kind of wake up, because it's like in the route that we're going, it's not good. Like it's for society, like for our future generations and everything. So I think it just brings that awareness of my importance of what I do, and my connection with nature. And it's just everything is that extension of that, and from the heart. And like from dealing with my whole life of like judgments and projections of, I think from the masculine especially, of like, oh, you're too sensitive, you're too like open and all this stuff. That is like a feeling the pressure from the masculine, of the masculine has been wanting to keep me in that box for my whole life, but I've just been wanting to break free from that. And well, I feel like definitely like with my stepfather, I could definitely feel that polarity and lived it through that experience, through like, bless his heart, like bless his soul, like, but it was just this whole, so for me being this loving, flowing, sensitive, intuitive being, to like this constant energetic charge of intensity, not healthy intensity, but just this being closed off and the heart not being open, which is why like he passed away from a heart attack. Like it makes total sense, right? Like when the heart is so tense and so closed, like, and it can't open, what else is it expected to do? It's like the heart dies. Like the heart is not open. You can't, like, you can't go through life like that, right? As I saw and my, like, the results of like what happens, right? Like it's just the facts, right? Just like all so much landing now. But it's like with me, it's like being intuitive and sensitive, and like I wouldn't change that for the world, because like now look at my growth, look at my whole, looking at myself from just a whole year within the Sacred Heart Valley, how much that has like completely changed my whole life. Like I would have never even imagined it, though, like my life how it is now. And it's just so enriching and nurturing. So it's like, if I would have like known then what I know now, it's like, if I had the courage to just like tell my dad, like to help him to open his heart, how things would have been different. And well, my first father too was waiting for a heart and double lung transplant, but his heart, like of how I know him, like his heart was more open than my stepdad. Like I feel like his heart was just so full of love and that, but the connection, like it's so similar. Like both fathers were with the heart, right? So, and like my first father passed when he was 35. So it's like how old am I now? 30, 34. So it's like now it's like I'm breaking through that threshold, that fear that I've had of like, oh, with 35, it was like I was always fearing that like when I'm 35, but I know that's not the case. Like I'm gonna keep living like beyond that, but it's just like healing that lineage, that energy. That's like my whole significance of why I was put into that experiences with my father of carrying on like a whole new perspective and a whole new way of being for myself, like others in the world, and to bring in that illumination. So yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And I think that's why I'm like on that heart path, like the heart consciousness, because like the energetics of the heart, behind the heart, the understanding of the heart, like the whole, like all of that energy, right? Oh, wow, this is huge. And I just fully accept it and learn and grow and evolve more and more each day. I think now it's just really diving deeper into all the energetics of the body, of the heart, of feeling. As like Lillian, I know like you feel a lot through the body. So it's like I'm feeling like a shift within me of, I think because for so many years, I've been in the, like out of the body and like the energetics of it, but now it's like bringing the energetics into the body, into feeling it, which I've been really feeling the last couple of days. Can feel that whole transformation happening within my body is beautiful. So I think that's why I think I was feeling stuck too as well, of like, okay, what's going on? But I'm like, this is what's going on. It's like propelling me into like even more deeper depths of helping humanity to heal. So yeah, it's like uncovering a lot, like getting to the root of like that's what we do, like the to the root cause of things. Oh yeah, this is massive. Thank you. It's like every time like that initiation, So it's good. It's good.
I'll write down a few of the notes that I wanted to expand of what you're saying as well. And thank you, Kyle, for sharing. I know that is your entire life.
Yeah.
But as you can see, that why it is really important to really know in our body, not out of our body. Even though when we say within our body, we have to know in and the depths of the body. Because in the cellular level, there is a lot more to reveal as well. So yeah. So we talk about, you shared about why that, outside society, we be in the box and we do this and that, because nobody teach us, nobody teach our parents, nobody teach anyone, because this is what it is, right? And if we don't explore, or you're sleeping or not awakened or not spiritual, like we put it spiritual people, right? You literally lack of sexual or sex education. Although we said, oh yeah, we're doing practices safe sexual in the school, right? But schools still have limited, because they will put, I hear a lot of my kids, different friends in different school, they put female in this way, in the left-hand side, male on the other side. And they will talk about what is the males and what is the female. And then the teachers don't really think about it. If the teachers have wounding herself or himself, it will not will not talk about so deep. They just said, just use condom. That's it.
Exactly.
And that is all.
Yeah.
That is called safety. Just use this plastic.
So
So that's what we've been taught, because they're being taught too. And that's how it is. And the thing is that it's only when you become, honestly, when you have trauma, then you will want to heal on that side, and you start seeking. And when you start seeking, you land it on hard. You said that, oh, this is something for me. And then if you go in alignment to something like, let's say, something that healing in, like people will go straight to, normal people go straight to therapists, to go to hospital, to go to psychologists, those big name, but, or mentor, let's say, but normal people say, waste of qualification. How do you do it? And all of that. But if those people who conscious people, I just say conscious people, they were also seeking the right path, the right way to do it. So that is just a general one. Like obviously, like, the men will go into, like, I think for women, let's say, is actually go to a lot of wound work and to clear the wound to start with, or to initiate it. All of this work is initiation. And for the men will not go healing themselves. They will go closing up. And because women wanted to share, and not all women want to, because it's their body. I don't want to share about my story about my body to you. So that also that is that how trauma they have. If you have a bigger traumatic experience, then it takes years for them to open up. If they don't, it just started from, to come into the circle. They see a lady that is sharing, a sister that is sharing, and when she can resonate, and she will start sharing. So one by one will start open up. And then at the end, that circle becomes alchemical circle, transmutation, and then it's so tight in a way that tight love, tight healing, deep and tight healing. That is the woman circle. And for the man, they will not go into a brotherhood circle. You hardly hear that. They will go to the meeting. They will not go to any circle. Why is called a circle? A circle is the way that you seek around, you share around, and it's spiral. The energy spiral. That is where alchemical happening when you share, cleansing and clearing for you. So yeah, that's when we open a circle and we close the circle, we heal from that circle. So yeah, and then you step out of the circle with renew and rebirth feeling. That's why also Sacred Heart Valley have a lot of circles. 14 circles. Yeah, for gathering is gathering, and sometimes that gathering, when you open your heart, you feel the healing too. So yeah, that's why I never said we're going for a meeting. A different feeling, right? So yeah, so that is one of that. And again, men and women will go and watch porn to learn. That is the way. The men love it. The female also love it. That is the way. So yeah, because the beautiful photo is there, right? Like as I said that, oh, this is you do it and the men will love it. It's just like the breast. You do bigger breast, the men will love it. So what do? They go to cosmetic surgery to go bigger and bigger and bigger, and for other people. So woman's body breast is for other people. So last chocolate love, I asked the woman, I asked the lover in there, is your breast is for you or not? So in general way, the breast is for the kids, for the babies, breastfeeding, and from the man to feel, the man to touch, to impress the man, for the man for arousal. How about for yourself? The thing is on you, the breast is on you. So what do you do? I don't even see my breast at all. I don't even touch my breast, just wear my bra and go. Yeah. But when we actually look at our breast, too small or too big, too saggy, or something wrong. Judgment on our own breast a lot. Think about it. We judge the breast, our own breast. And it's just like, yes, I can laugh about it because in a way that I see the reaction of other people. Also, I react myself. This is how I learn. I was like, oh my gosh, I judge my own breast. Oh my God. Yeah. Self-love from the breast. When you love your breast, you love your heart, and you love your yoni too. And again, a lot of judgment about external stuff, and including the man, right? The man will say, how big is it? How quick is it? How high it is? The length of it, the thickness of that. It's just all, again, judgment on your own stuff, own body, on organ. It's the same thing. So yeah. So why don't we honor our body, that we are divine, so we're God and goddesses. So yeah. And you can speak to your breast too if you wanted to, just like your inner child. I remember that one of the members in the chocolate love, it's just like, oh, it's just that when we did the 13 days of the Queen Yoni and King Cock sub voyage, right? And one of the members said that, so angry. I feel like so angry when I can't remember which day, but she was talking about she's just not ready to do the thing, but she's just so enraged. And it's just that little voice. And I said, wow, it looked like your inner girl. Inner girl is rebellious, is rage. Well, you need to sit there and feel her, talk to her. So we're bringing into the inner child way of healing the yoni, so that the yoni can open, because the yoni is shut on her. So yeah, so that happened to myself as well. So when I did the yoni egg healing, right, and I know that I was holding the yoni egg, and then I know my body just like, nope, you're not putting that thing inside me, inside, like, you know, and don't touch me. I was like, wow, okay. Something like my body is rejecting myself. What's wrong with me? I was like, oh my God. So this is like a deep healing needed. So yeah, so every day I holding the egg and I communicate, sort of like sending energetically, talking and nurturing my yoni. And that is how I learned that when I was touching, feeling my skin, I start with feeling my skin. I was like using my oil started to feel, and then like initially have just a little bit of sensitivity, and then somehow I feel a lot more. Do slower. I really small, really slow, and with the music, with the light, dim light, with closing your eyes, and you can practice that yourself as well. When you do really slower of the touch, your hand, feel it, and you know that your whole body softened. And when your body softened, you can hear her. You can hear your yoni talking, and you communicate. You ask her, how are you? How are you tonight? And just like another friend, it's just like inner child, right? And just communicate with her. And then when she becomes soft voice, and you will know, it's just like your body will know that it's tonight. And it is ready. So yeah, so when you're using your hand to massage your body, just including your breast, anywhere, right, you feel called to do it. Just like I explained it here, it's just like it will a full yes. So yeah, when the full yes, when the yoni opened, gentle, and the yoni egg can welcome to go in. So yeah, you don't need to force it to go in. It's just that you don't need to force the penis to go in. It's exactly the same thing. But obviously it's different like healing, right? So, but things like the organ is working similarity of that. So when you feel the force, do not force that. When you say no, means no. So we sit with that. So yeah. Because you don't want to add another layer of trauma or wounding that you created yourself. Because it's definitely something that we need to look at, and something that need to be healing as well. So yeah. And when we do in our body, anything, we're just gonna go a lot slower and a lot contemplating, a lot communicating to your body, because your body is awake. When they fight, right, it's not negative. He just said, wow, my body can fight me. Yes, that means it's awakened.
Mm.
So that's it. So
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not
definitely
numb, no
feeling.
feeling. It's not like that. So when you say, nah, oh, it's waking up. Good. That is the first thing, awareness. Sorry, Carl, what do you want to say?
Oh, it's okay. No, I feel like I'm feeling that like my body is reawakening from within. Like I can feel the consciousness like of my heart and like of like my like cock's energy, but like in a more deeper way, because I feel when I was processing like before with everything that was a huge like subconscious block that I was kind of carrying. So
So how do you feel
yeah,
into your body before and after? Like before you
mm,
share, right? Like when
yeah,
you listen to me, right? When you before you share and after you share now, I'm sure that is
yeah,
different.
it's different, very different. So yeah, I was feeling so like yeah, so I was feeling stuck. I was feeling disassociation, wasn't like receiving. Um, I could feel like restrictiveness, um, kind of like emotionless, um, feeling into like that the whole experience of the masculine energy just being closed off. I feel like once a being like has a like a nurturing supportive environment like to share, to be like held, heard, that it's like this whole thriving energy just unlocks. Like I literally feel and see myself of before we opened up the container, it was like kind of like my teenager self, 19 again, right? That energy. But it's like it was like that energy. If I didn't jump into the container with you in the sacred space, that energy would have been stuck and I would have started spiraling. But it's like that was like the energy that I've known my whole life as a teenager, which I had to figure out things mostly for myself because I wasn't taught like how to like really anything about, just like the whole sexual education, like that you just like put like a condom on and then you just do whatever the norm, right? Like you just, yeah, like the whole friction thing, right? So I'm definitely, that's like not how I feel things to be. And I'm just like, then I just kind of put that aside and I'm like, I disregard it and I says, I don't want it. Like, I don't want that if that's how it's gonna be. Like, you know what I mean? So then that's why I went through the whole thing of like, I'm just gonna just wait till like marriage to experience it because I just like, I don't want anything to do with it, right? That has been my whole life journey up until last year, like to be honest. Like I didn't see really any point in it because I'm like, it's not like it doesn't feel like it's fulfilling. So I'm like, why am I even gonna even like do it, right? Like the whole stories that I carried on with society that I just internalized and just it created chaos within me. So that whole energy I was feeling before we opened up the sacred space, and I honestly was feeling hopeless, helpless, alone, scared, like doing things all on my own. That whole what's it called? Oh, what's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue. Um, Isolated. Yeah. So then when we open up the containers, like allowing the heart to express itself and like the emotions to flow. So it's like tuning into the feeling of the heart and the extension of the heart, moving all throughout the body and allowing the heart to just ooze into every area and to feel. It's like that heart went right to like my cock and my whole body, that I feel so alive, that I feel like right now it's like feeling so much in love with myself. And it's like it kind of snaps you out of that mentality that I feel like every man needs like a sacred container like this to just like snap them out of that thinking, like the monkey mind, that thinking, being a body, that it's just completely can shift so fast that if men were to realize that how basically a quick of a shift it is to initiate that, like the connection with the heart and the body, that instantly it just creates this ripple effect of healing throughout the body. Like I feel like I can feel the inside energy of the body that's just like loving me up, and that's just reflecting that back by just like touching the body, like feeling the body, like being like, fuck, like I love you, Kyle. Like it's like, fuck yeah, like I love you. She's like falling back in love with myself, and just like uh, like fuck yes, like now I get it, like now I know like why Sabrina is like so, that energy of like that passion too, like I'm feeling into it. It's just like, yeah, like yes, like this is like a full body like feeling of like that awakened energy, that's like, yes, using that energy to create now. Like I feel like I want to create, I want to do artwork, I want to dance, I just want to like love nature, like just like be in nature, just like this whole energy moment of like this orgasmic feeling of the heart energy, but connecting with the cock, and it's just like penetrating the world with like that love, that I feel like now I can like just be of heart service and take on the world. That like this sacred practice of like just connecting each and every day, of like this is how like starting the day I need to remember to like start my day like this, and that everything else would be taken care of. It's just like being out of that mind space mentality. It's like fuck with that. I don't want to feel that, like that mind taking control of like everything. I'm done with that. Like I'm done with just like living like that. Like I mean, processing throughout the day, like being an empath, you feel so much, but a lot of it is feeling that overhead energy of society, and especially the energetics of like the masculine energy definitely is, I feel that cloud, that haze. So that's why I go into nature so much to clear it, to get back into like that feminine energy, but also being like the masculine energy within nature as well, and like being that like that embodied masculine, right? So it's like that, that's why I go into nature. It's like that dance with nature, right? Like allowing myself to be held with nature, emotional, but feeling the brilliance and the healing. It's like this harmony, this balance, right? So it's just like, yes, 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 this is it. I got it, I got it, I get it, I get it. It's like so many like retrievals like happening all at once, and I fully receive it. And yeah, it's, this is the way of being, like the nature way of being, of like when we had the connect with Xenia before, it's like this is it, like it's finally integrating into my being. So yeah, it's like, yes, men, if you're gonna listen to this and like energetically, like the masculine energy, just sending this frequency out, like man, it's time to wake up, like get out of that mentality, get out of your mind and into the heart, like snap out of it, just wake up for yourself and for your heart, and like your lover and your family and your future, and just for your purpose and your passion, who you are. It's like time. So fired up right now. Thank you. Thank you. but this energy that I'm feeling, like this is me, like this is me, like the fire, it's like the fire of the heart, the passion of nature, like everything. It's so healing, like the healing balm, like the healing essences. Like if this could just be like bottled. It's just like and like drank, like you know what I mean? Like it's just, but just like emitting this from my heart, like a shockwave to the world, to just like wake up, wake up. Like it's not that, it's not as hard as society thinks it is. And I mean, like all these like therapy sessions and that, it's like basically a bunch of like bullshit like that. Is just all we have to do is just come back to the heart and to feeling, like the feeling with the heart, and just allowing the heart to just wake up all parts of us. It's just initiating that connection to the heart, and just everything else flows from that. So yeah.
I have a question for you, Kyle.
Yeah, sure.
How will you treat the woman? You talk about the nature a lot.
Yeah.
Let's bring into the woman to your conversation for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How would you treat women
So
in your way?
so I treat her exactly how I treat nature. So allowing her to be held within my heart, like bringing her into my heart, feeling and experience as I do with nature. It's just bringing everything that I do, have done with nature, to like women. Just that outpouring of like pure love. Just like allowing myself to get emotional with women, like holding, embracing women as she's an extension of nature. Treating her as the goddess as she is, like as an extension of nature. It's like for me, it's that heart consciousness that is huge. That when a woman's heart is open, I can feel it. And it's just safe just to be. And when two hearts are open, or just even partially open, but when it just has that openness about it, that energy within and around, it just flows. Like I can feel, even when a person comes into my awareness or field, immediately, they don't have to say anything. I can just feel if they're a closed off person or not. And it's like the smile reflects of what the heart is expressing. Yes. So the facial features are how the heart expresses. So it's like that smile. When a woman smiles, I can tell if her heart is open, if she's feeling safe. So that's like a huge key for me, as in even just sharing or just even forming a conversation. but it's also giving that smile in return and that openness in return. But yeah, just treating women how I would treat a woman is an extension of how I feel inside. Like at my root, at my core, like with the depths of my being and my heart, of knowing that there's so much love within that I can't help but just to share it. Even in any like tensions or triggers, it's not denying that in either parts or either self. It's just bringing the heart, that heart consciousness to everything, like to the forefront, to the table, and allowing those emotions to be felt, expressed. As my whole life, I've experienced the whole opposite side of no heart consciousness and how it just pulls everything apart and gets like the person becomes further and further away from themselves. It's been my whole life of seeing that. And I decided that like at 19 that I wanted everything to be different. I knew there was so much more. So that's when I just started like becoming that seeker, the seeker of like love, heart consciousness within. I just wanted deeper depths of everything, of understanding. And like finally received it. So I feel like now it's like, I mean, there's always healing and growth, but I feel my heart is just at such a beautiful understanding now of like just how it wants to be. And like once the heart is open, it's like that feeling, the experiences that the heart experiences with an open heart is like everything that a person could dream of experiencing. It's like you have a whole like your rebirth, like you have like a whole new life beyond the life of this illusion. It's like life lived with the heart fully open. And that's what life is all about. Yeah. Yeah, living life with an open heart. It's the greatest gift that you can give to yourself, others in the world. And that's all you ever need. Everything else is just like a distraction from that, a distraction from the truth. So yeah, that's my devotion in life's mission, is just living life with a opened heart, and anyone that just wants to experience that and to walk with me hand in hand, heart to heart with an open heart, then my heart's fully open. Yeah. So getting back to your question, how I would treat a woman is with an open heart, with all my vulnerability and depth and everything. The happy and messy bits, but knowing that I just loved with my whole heart. Yeah, just gifting her my whole heart with no regrets. And then I'll know that that was a life worth living. And my heart is my legacy. Yeah.
Shall we continue? So heart is really important. Heart is connected to all the energetic, all the electromagnetic field. And heart electromagnetic field is the biggest field. So when two men and women vibrate love in the heart expansion of the electromagnetic field, they are the most powerful. Love the heart. They will receive and circulate that energy. And also the life force energy. There's also an electromagnetic field at that space as well. So by learning to understand or understand our body, it is so important. That is why I'm here showing and sharing this in chocolate love. That's why the container is created. Because all of this I've experienced them myself. And I know that it is the lack that we have. And we wanted to heal that back from the root. And we don't know how to do it. And that is also why that we return to the earth again. And here we are now, healing ourselves. We don't want to go to a recycling center. So yeah, by doing ourselves, helping ourselves, understanding ourselves, is healing ourselves. So yeah, on the way of the healing, there's soul family coming in, and we heal together, and never be alone. Because this ties into that there's no destination, it's a journey. And also, I want to bring into is so in alignment that when men and women make love, we will have target and go to the path that we need to come That is the focus. Even though before we start. So our focus is not here, it's there. So we want to go straight there. We are connecting that side. So we are not really enjoying the process. Because our mind is already there. And that is called normal. Because I'm aware that I can bring into that awareness that when you love somebody, when you make love with somebody, it's just the love that you enjoy. There's no limitation. There's no destination. And that is no a target or no result or outcome set that. I just need to release. So that is also one of the meaning too. Because another meaning of make love is healing. Love making is love healing our body. The slower we make love, the more healing that we receive. And it goes even deeper and deeper every single time. So yeah. So that is something that I learned it myself and I can bring into the conversation here. The conversation had been going so deep. I didn't expect that, but it's good. So yeah. So is there anything else I wanted to share? Yes. So fantasy. So we talk about porn, we talk about fantasy. So fantasy is good in a way that if you watch porn, that's it. 1, 2, 3, boom, done. If you fantasy, you be painting the pictures, right? And this and that, painting the pictures, and you just fantasy. I don't know the word, another fantasy. The normal fantasy, female fantasy, male also fantasy. So you literally, those people who fantasy, you are making love using your mind. You're not making love using the body. And let this land as well. When I hear that, it's just like blossoming. So yeah. Just imagine that using the mind and love making. There's disassociation straight away, bursting. So yeah, it's huge. So yeah. And you're talking about why man. So I know that you are conscious. And even though you can feel that, well, this is a state and all that, what about those men that do not know that they need to awake? It's also, I just say, of course. He's listening. Of course. So those men that would not know that they need to awake, I said, they will not know. That is hard for them. It's challenge. Because we from not awake to awake. So yeah, that is just something to bring into consideration too. That is on my note. When you were talking, I just writing some of the keyword that I wanted to share. And also that why woman is easier, not only because of the circle that I mentioned, I also said that woman is easy to understand me. Because women can awake first. It's more intuitive. They're more accepting as well. And that is why that a lot of divine feminine that you can see on the social media, it's just like a mushroom, growing and growing. So we feminine giving birth, the man will break or initiate it. I don't want to say break, but initiate it. Things will break apart. So, yeah. And then there was just that time to look into that. Why it is happening to him, and all the why and how, where is, that's how it is already right breaking apart, because the soul and the human soul or body is separated for so long. And when the time the soul coming back, shake, waking up, not shake, it will break apart around it. Yeah. In within also as well. That's why that might of the soul coming in. So it's actually beautiful. Oh, yeah. I love this conversation. I didn't even know that we were
Me too. Me too. Whew.
How are you, Kyle?
I'm good.
Do we need a break?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
I know I asked a very straight question to you, but it's valid.
Yeah.
So to speak from your mouth for the woman is huge. As a man talk about the woman from your heart is huge. Women want to hear it. They appreciate and they honor, just like I honor you, Kyle, to be here with us. So yeah. We're going to the next slide.
I me too.
So the next one, we talk about the energy flow, which is our topic actually. So to recap, the first slide, we talk about the anatomy. The second slide, we talk about love making. And now we're going deep inside the body. So we're talking about plus and minus, and man is the half unit of the circuit, and the woman is actually another half. So when the plus and minus join together, become one. Give me a couple of minutes.
Oh, I'm just gonna go to the washroom. Okay, go to the washroom.
You see my screen, right?
Yes. Yep.
So now we're diving into a lot deeper about the organ. So let's look at the so let's just recap. So the first one talking about the organ, right? The anatomy. Second one we're talking about our sharing our stories and how the energy circuit running in the flow positive magnetic states and magnetic pole. And now we are going to see that how internal work in this in this energy. Now we were talking about outside. I mean, not really outside, but it's like plus and minus. But this is going inside. So I'm just gonna read here. The vagina or yoni melts around. Actually, the right way is actually oh, no, right. not that, not right. It's good. The penis first. So the penis is there for us to be appreciated. Yes, that's it. To be appreciated as a conduit for vital energy, as well as for semen. And the vagina is a receptacle for the force, as well as for semen necessary for reproduction. So we're talking about penis is the positive, and then penetrate the vagina. So how does that work? Inside vagina. So inside the vagina melts around the penis and drinks the energy radiating from it. When the penis and the vagina are united in penetration, they form one complete unit, one dynamic force and one passive force, a live electromagnetic circuit. So yeah, that is why the man is the half unit of the circuit and the woman is another half. So I just throw a question here as well for those who watch. So how should the vagina best relate to the penis? How should they conduct themselves when they get together? What would they want for themselves if they did not force our personal expectations on them? So these are the contemplating questions. So yeah, this is this slide literally. Oh, I think there's more down here. Oh, yes. So the truth is that the vagina as a passive pole should be maintained wide and easy, available to receive the maximum impact of the male's energy, which is the penis. We call it as male energy. When the vagina is physically and energetically opened, man is finally able to flow into and through women, following the direction of the energy flow from the positive to the negative. So yeah, it's so beautiful, isn't it? It's like the energetic way of it, and also the living of it as well. So if we have this knowledge or information, even the wording, the way that we love making will be even more softer, gentler as well, and will be more appreciated each other. It's sacred. So the vagina the yoni is sacred, and the penis is sacred. So yeah. So that is that one. Do you have any things to share, Kyle? Or you want me to continue?
You can continue. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's beautiful. Yeah, just feeling into the oneness, like yeah, it just wants to love, right? Like it's just yeah, all in love. Yeah.
I'll be back. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Just like you said, it's just like wanted to be loved, wanted to receive, and wanted to give and receive, and that reciprocal. So yeah. So this is the final. The final slide is a little birding, but I wanted to put everything here because I don't want to have a bullet point and I don't want to miss a point as well, because I felt that is so important for especially women and to know, and also for men to understand as well. I know that I'm focusing on female here, but later on I will be bringing on the male as well. But so this slide is about the vagina consequences of the conventional sex, like the normal sex, what's happening to Yoni and what's happening to the man and the woman. So vagina tissue are adversely affected and their receptive qualities gradually deaden. Like no feeling, literally another word. So once the man has entered repeatedly friction, which is I said in and out, just in and out, of penis against the sensitive, silky vagina wall, has another negative effect. If the woman's not warm up fully, right? And it's sort of like forcing, and women will feel pain, will feel retract, yeah, and control, but they will not say anything. I also wanted to share that when the woman get aroused, our throat is literally shut. Like this is anatomy, the science base. So that is why that we always wanted to encourage women to share your voice, and just share your feeling by using your throat. So this is on the another recording that I'm gonna produce, is when your throat and yoni shape is similar. So when yoni open, your throat will open. Your blanket, yeah. Yeah. So healing yoni, that's why yoni healing is important, is by you healing your yoni, your throat canal is also like a canal will open itself. So yeah, that is the healing part. It's just like when your heart is open, your yoni also open. So it's that plus minus, and also that's how the body works as well. So which is really beautiful. It's all interconnected. So yeah. Okay, that is for this one. So when the vagina is toughened up this way, its magnetic perception of entering male half circuit is reduced. The receptive absorbent tissues, instead of literally covered over and thicken the skin. So the vagina wall, it will get thickened because of the friction. So yeah, and also control, like you just will control because you're not ready. You would the muscle will get tense, and then that is how we can thicken the skin, and you become less sensitive. And that is why the vagina, the armor coming in. Yeah, we wanted to have a sensitive vagina, so that the energy flow beautifully. You can absorb and you can do what the vagina is supposed to do. So the tensions held in the vagina, which can show up when sexual excitement form an artificial screen or positive charge, and almost like a male character, and I said like a masculine. And that is also to sort of like hinder. Hinder is like not avoid, but how do I explain? How do you explain hinder? Kind of like not as absorbent, right? Like opposite, not as absorb as the male's energy. So yeah. So that is what it means, because you have toughened up the wall vagina and you thicken it. Because you're control it, you're not ready, but you're still forcing it. And then it just become not feeling that much of the male's energy. So when the male's energy means is when the penis going, there's the male's energy beaming in. So yeah. And for the male's energy beaming in is the vagina, the inner receptivity, bringing that energy up to her. That's how you feel into the magnetic pole. So yeah. So the physical movement of the pelvis goes with the usual sex routine add to increase of insensitivity within the vagina. A stream of pelvic movement amount to a woman using her vagina in active way rather than a passive way. That's what I meant as a masculine way. Movement converts the vagina into an active and doing and outgoing organ, which is the opposite way, right? And the canal get physically restricted and narrower. We wanted to get open up more, but it get really, really tight, like so tight and narrow, which disturb the normal, startle, the receptive energy of the vagina environment. So we use the penis and vagina to have a nice rub together because we do not have a sense of how they communicate and exchange, energy exchange through the magnetic polarity. So the penis do its job and the vagina do its job. They're not communicating. So when we talk about energy flow of the male and female, right, that is communicating. So you can see that for females not ready, in the males forcing it, or even though normally that is the normal scenarios, and the female will not know. It's just like, oh, I need to please the man. Even though if that person is either is discomfort or like pained or wanted to say something, but what if he's angry or triggers him or something, just any of that. You're already on that mind. So the female have that mind running while you love making. Dissociate already. So yeah. A man usually penetrates a woman well before the sexual temperature, which is already explained. Sufficiently high for her to invite him in. So, as I said, the sufficient high means that the penis is always on fire. So in the friction, right, it's like aroused is also on fire. When the man on fire, the woman's also on fire. It's all fiery. Where is the relaxed sex? Just ask yourself, like, what is really sex for them? So yeah, it doesn't, I'm not saying that firing is not good, but we also wanted to have relaxed, slow, and guess what? When you have slow to start with, the body will open, and then slowly enjoy with like enjoying the love, and the love is all beaming out and receive and gifting through the heart. And then your body will know. Your body will know how to get that peak orgasm. It's not for us to give the body. The body will want it themselves. So yeah. Does that make sense? So yeah. And when the vagina becomes shy because of the forced visits, hardened through friction, and tightened through the movement, all the necessary pathway complementary to the male dynamic is obscured. It is important to realize that stimulus simultaneously that to these two desensitizing of the vagina. And here, the penis is also become less and less receptive. While accumulating years, the male organs become highly congested and tense and overcharged. Because remember, penis is positive. On fire is overcharged. Excessively positive, in the same way that the vagina cannot absorb. So the penis fails to function as a transmitter of the pure positive male's energy. So this distortion that we give into our polarity is the root, the cause of lack of the deep, moving sexual experiences. But the polarity is not destroyed, of course. When we're aware, we can, like you can reverse that, which is healing ourselves to reverse that and bringing that healthy, beautiful, soft energy back to our body. Our body will heal ourselves, but we need to aware, to awaken and reconnect to that part. Our body can heal ourselves, then heal themselves. Overcoming the sexual habits and patterns responsible for these steps away from polarity is the most direct route to reclaiming femininity and masculinity and regaining our inborn sensitivity, which is we talk about. Reconnecting, awake, reconnect, and then become sensitive. We want to have that sensitive and deep sensory too. And not that we're seeking sense, a lot of senses sensory every time, we're not seeking. We wanted to have more sensitivity so that we can deepen our sensory. It's from when we're sensitive, a little bit like subtle sensory, we could feel it. That is the aim. That's the key of it. So yeah. That is for today. Energy flow from the man to the woman. I did not know that it's gonna be so deep today. Wow. So, how do you feel, Kyle?
Really good. So much deep understanding.
Just from
Man.
this chat, just from this table. I mean, not table, but just from this image. And even though this image is our body, yeah, our body is so much magic to discover. Like uncover, discover, rediscover, right? It's a lot of adventure. I call it adventure. It's a lot of experiment as well. Through my journey, it's a lot of experiment, a lot of experience. You gain a lot of experience by my adventure, by our adventure. So that's what I say is adventurous. You don't know what you're doing in the first thing, but your body tell you that yes or no. Yeah, go there, yes or no. So yeah. And then I started to do journaling, like writing stuff. You will feel, sense, and see different things. And then it will evolve from your experience. And they're all beautiful. That's how I feel into my body even more and more every day. And it's just that love energy flow in my energy center. And it's just like life force energy continue to flow. That is what, that's just like you said, it's a natural state of being. Because of that, energy is not circulate. The root is stuck at the root there, which is, I was one of them, that my pelvic is not moving. So yeah, so I started from the Yoni healing and everything shift from there. And then always come back again and again. Because I found it that I feel like after the healing, it's also finding the safety in your body is super important. To find that safety is just like home. So your body is your home. So your home have roof, right? And then have everything in your home. So when your body is shaken, you just have to hold on to that and just literally need to mothering your body. Just away that. Purging will be coming normal because need to release. Something need to release. Just purge. However that you do it, crying, shouting, raging, running, exercising, punching the pillow, anything that are healthy to get it out there. So yeah. Or you can do exercise, climbing the mountains, climbing the wall climbing, anything that is form of release as well. Exercise, running the field. So yeah. Oh, I remember that my mom used to do this. When she's angry, she cleaned the house. When you see mom cleaning the house, I'm like, okay, we go away. Like every single corner wiping. It's like, okay, we're going. So yeah, that is the sign of releasing. That is a healthy way. 2 in 1, house clean and release. Yeah. Yeah. I hope
Thank you
that
for such a
today's
beautiful connect.
huh?
Thanks for such a beautiful connect. It's life-changing.
Yeah, it is life-changing. It changed my life, changed my sexual life, changed my love life, to the beautiful way. Fulfilling, radiance, sensuality, pleasure, aliveness, erotic, and all of that. Experience it inside the body, irradiate out outside the body. So yeah, that's all. Yeah. And also, of course, the nature is always part of it. Because Gaia is a female.
Mm-hmm.
She has womb space. She has eroticism. Erotic just like you feel into the orgasmic. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
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 That is all from me for now.
It's beautiful. I feel so much better. Like really, really good. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for coming. And those who play the replay, this is deep. Whether you experience it or
Yeah.
not, understand or not, but you will, something is stirring inside you. I can guarantee.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, that is all for now, Kyle.
Thank you. Honor you. Thanks for always showing up with your heart and your wisdom and insights, everything. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
I honor you as well from my heart to you. As what you
Thank
do,
you.
the purest heart, continue to hold that. All right, we'll bring that to the end then. Have a great day at work.
You, I will now. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really inspired. Have a good sleep.
Oh, well. It's at 2:00.
Yeah, it's time to go to bed.
All right, bye
Good
for now.
night, Lillian.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.